Israel, he never bothered to respond back. He never bothered to respond back. And he wrote a letter to their master, the American president. They said, we will not talk to you, we will talk to your master. So this is the policy of the exact state policy of Pakistan, which is not practiced by the government of Pakistan. This is one thing. The second thing is that this recent Gaza Holocaust or genocide, it was the violation of many UN resolutions, including Geneva Convention. So our representative in United Nations, whenever they condemn it like many other nations. They don't go in the details. So we must highlight this issue that according to the UN Security Council resolutions, Jerusalem or Baitul Maqdis or Aqsa Mosque cannot become part of Israel. It is the violation of the UN resolutions. Because according to the UN resolution, General Security Council resolution, Jerusalem was the responsibility of the United Nations. It was given in the trusteeship of the United Nations, which they never practiced, they never implemented. So the Jerusalem or Baitul Maqdis or Masjid Aqsa should go in the custody of the United Nations. If they are not doing anything to take back the custody, give it to the Palestinians. If you are not ready to give it to the Palestinians peacefully, they have the full right, according to the international law, to take arms against you. This is their legitimate right. Because it is you who are violating the international law. They have not violated the international law. एक और भी पाकिस्तान में प्रोपेगेंडा किया जाता है. हमारे मुशाहिद हुसैन साहब, should I mention some names? Oh, I don't want to create problems for you, okay? देखिए, my dear friends, it is not easy in Pakistan to speak truth about Palestine, because some very powerful people sitting in very powerful places, yes, around 10-mile radius of this place, 10 miles radius of this place, they desperately want the recognition of Israel. Why? Because some of your Arab rulers, they are pressurizing them. Oh, you brother, first you recognize Israel, then we will do it. So they don't have the moral courage to take the lead. So they want to use the shoulders of Pakistan. And it is the people of Pakistan who always oppose the recognition of Israel. So it is only the people of Pakistan, the common Pakistani, the common Muslim, who is the hurdle, not the rulers of Pakistan. So that's why I will not mention any name. One journalist, this is not our job. Why should we ask the Prime Minister to recognize Israel? So he made a long speech and he mentioned some point. He said, Pakistan will get benefit this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he mentioned 10 benefits. Pakistan will get 10 benefits if we recognize Israel. So I said, okay, this is your point of view. I tried to tell him the same things which I said earlier. The letter of Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the sayings of Dr. Allama Iqbal, you know what he said? पंजाबी में उसने कहा ओ मैं तंग आ गया तुहाडे इकबाल ते बाबे जनाह कोलों मैं किथे जावां सो ये इस तरह की बात की उस बंदे ने आजकल वो सड़क पे जाता है ना कहीं पे तो लोग उसको यही कहते हैं जो आप कह रहे हैं सो you know what was his ultimate, the final argument? He said, you are talking about these Palestinians. They sold their mother. They sold their lands to the Jews. That's how Israel was created. So you want to sacrifice Pakistan for the Palestinians who sold their land, their mothers, sisters, everything to the Israelis? I said, look at your hatred for Palestinians and look at your ignorance. You don't know the facts. When Israel was created, 90% of the land belonged to the Palestinians. Only 10% land was transferred to Jews or some other people. So the 6%, sorry. Yeah, yeah. You come here, you come here. You go.
Assalamu alaikum. I have to do this intervention because this is a case where it's been repeated everywhere and across the Muslim world. The number of Jews towards the beginning of the century were about 15,000 to 25,000. When the British occupied Palestine in 1917, towards the 1917, and mandate started shortly after, by 1948, there were 650,000 Jews. All of them were illegal immigrants. They tried to take over Palestine. And during the Ottomans, Palestine was different jurisdictions. So most of the north of Palestine belonged to the Beirut province. And most of the feudals who owned actual land were tax collectors for the Ottomans. Two of the largest families were Al-Salam and Al-Sursuq, one Maronite, one Sunni. Actually, the descendant now is the prime minister in Lebanon. They owned about 200,000 acres and the other 400,000 acres. These people sold, they were not Palestinians. Most of the land that the Jews purchased, and didn't purchase, but they got it, came through a process by which the British did not collect taxes. They would leave the small owners not taxing them for years, and then they would come with a big tax bill. With that tax bill, they can't pay. They bring the police, trained by the British. They take over the land violently, and if they can't, behind them, they have the British soldiers, and behind them, the Jewish agencies, where they go and take this land. Add to that the gifts and the grants, the gifts, the grants, the actual dispossession of the Palestinians, and the feudals who sold all that was 6%. By 1947, when they did the actual census, they owned only 6%. So this notion that the Palestinians sold lands is just a crime against the Palestinians and crime against history.
Thank you, thank you. So this is the real fake news. This is the real fake news. So it was 6%. Thank you for this this correction. Now you see what I want to say is that countries like Pakistan, who officially don't recognize Israel, we have the full right to visit Bait al-Maqdis or Masjid al-Aqsa without the visa of Israel, because actually the United Nations gave Bait al-Maqdis in the trusteeship of the United Nations. So we want that this conference should adopt another resolution. You must demand United Nations that first of all, they must take the control of Baitul Maqdis, and they must issue permission to the Muslims belonging to the countries like Pakistan to visit Baitul Maqdis. We don't want to go to that place by getting visa from Israel. They offer many Pakistanis that come and visit Baitul Maqdis. They offer them that they will not stamp Israeli visa on their passport, and many Pakistanis, they go very silently to Baitul Maqdis. So, which is, I think, is not an appropriate thing. So, I hope that this conference will address this issue also, and in the end, I would suggest another resolution to condemn the recent statement of the American President, Mr. Trump, who is trying to behave like the viceroy of the Palestine. He is the president of America, but he is not the president of Palestine. So he have no right to expel Palestinians from